2, 3, and go. I think it's all go. Tenabali here. All right. Hi, Captain's log today. Today's read. I only read Wing, the graphic novel. I only read that today. I looked up a couple of books and added some books to my wish list and my TBR. So that's what I did today. Oh, also, as I was listening to the graphic audio of Fourth Wing, I looked up the cast. What prompted me to do that is I thought I heard Panther. I'm like, is that Panther? I don't know though. It might be and it might not be. The voice actor that voices Panther and other characters. But yeah, I looked up the cast and saw a few of the characters. And when I did that, as I'm listening to the book, the graphic audio, I was able to put a name with the voice and get like closer into the book, like get more familiar, because when I first read the book, it was all these names being thrown about because they're characters, and I'm trying to grasp them, doing the best I can. But then I was like, I don't know, what did she just say? Who was she just talking to? Was she talking to Liam? Was she talking to Zan? Was she talking to Dan? I thought Dan was a dragon. So now listening to the graphic audio and I've looked up the cast, I can see the names, and when the names come up in the graphic audio, I'm like, okay, that's that person, okay. It's like it's all coming clear to me now. Who's who and who looks like what, ideally, I guess. One of the first pictures I saw, and I kind of felt like she kind of reminded me of one of my best friends, back in, yeah, one of my best friends. So, I mean, as soon as I saw one of the pictures, and I think that picture is supposed to be, I don't know, because I just looked at it, but I think she's supposed to be Violet. But while I was reading the book, I already felt like Violet was similar to my best friend in some ways, with her side eyes and stuff. My my best friend, she could give the meanest side eye. I'm like, girl. But yeah, and then so I don't know if they are the same people or not, or just different photos. But I gravitated more to the photos that had the names more so, and also the ideal character. So I was able to see who was who. It kind of brought it all into the picture, if you will, because I didn't know. I mean, I'm hearing it, but then as I'm seeing the names, I'm like, okay, that's who they talking about. Okay, so that it's not like just going over my head, because when I first read it, it was a bit over my head with all the names, and I was like, "Ooh, I, I hear you, I hear you." But now seeing the names, I'm able to take tally and roll call, like, okay, this that person. Oh, this happened to that person. Oh, okay. Oh, that's Liam. Okay. Hmm. And then I see what's her name? Ray uh Rihanna? Rihanna? I think it said like that. Rihanna. I'm like, okay, I see you right. I'm like, I was feeling being Violent's friend, and Rihanna is Violent's friend. I'm like, okay, is that me? You mean me? You know, is we? Is that the character I would be? It looks like it could be that that would be me. I don't know exactly all the way just yet, because I have to reread it. Let me see what happened to it first. But yeah. So far, the part that I'm at in my reread, in the second part, because I haven't read part 1 with the graphic audio because it's not available at the moment. But yeah, it sounds like I could be Rihanna's character, like, because yesterday or the other day I mentioned like who something to that effect, like what character would you be in Fourth Wing, or would you be a student all on your own? And I thought I mean, as I I was like, I could be a student all on my own, because I didn't know exactly what Rihanna was looking like. And I wouldn't mind going back to the first part 1, when it does become available, to hear if 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 they're if they're who I'm thinking of, who met at the beginning when they were coming up the mountain. I'm not exactly sure, because like I said, all the names was going a bit over my head my first read through. But now that I got the names, I'm becoming more familiar of who's who. And yeah, that's cool. That's real cool if that is her from the beginning. But even now, their relationship is cool. I gotta keep reading to see how Rihanna fares, like how she how she come about. Right now, she makes up for something that they were lacking as far as soaring gale skills. They was going down the line of whose skills are at what level, and how they could make up for it because of the training that they're going through. Kind of like a relay race type of thing. Everybody trying to be at their highest level, but then trying to make up for uh, so-called weakest links. So that's where I'm at in the book, and it's cool to see the names and put the um, names to the characters. Dan, oh my goodness, Dan. I was like, sneaky. What he been doing? She didn't find out till like towards the end of the book what Dan was doing, and cause people they was like, did Dan do, and she was like, yeah, but he wouldn't do, and they was like, she was like, he can't do, and then they was like, yes, he can do. If he did that to you, girl, he do. And she was like, no, not Dan. And they were like, yes, Dan, yes, he can. And I was like, so after during this second read, I'm like, I'm like, Dan, sneaky, sneaky. How can you call him a friend at this point? I mean, she don't know it. I know it because I read the book already. But I'm like, how can he be called a friend? Like every time they talk, their friendship come up. But he'll say, but we've been friends since we was 5 years old. But then, are you really being a friend? Let's be honest here. Like, she honors him as her friend, even though he's done what he's done. She's still holding on. Oh, but we've been friends. And I'm like, really? You guys are friends? He don't trust you. I mean, the only thing y'all got in common is both of y'all say the word friends. At this point, he don't trust you when you needed him to trust you. He didn't ask you for permission to read your memories. I'm just like, that friendship ended. Like, y'all still talking about friends, but ain't nobody calling it quits. Like, he's still saying he's your friend and he wants the best for you. All the while, he just being sneaky Dan. And you calling him your friend, and all the while he being sneaky Dan. So it's cool to see. It's cool to put it into perspective through this second read. Knowing what I know now after reading the book the first time. Like, wow. Like, I see you now. Like, I was listening the first time. I see you now. Like, Dan. So, yeah. Enjoying that. I don't know. Maybe about the only friend. I don't know. I have to keep reading and then read the part one. But so far, the only friend she does seem to have is, well, I can't say that because, well, I can say it. I might be wrong, but I can't say it. The only friend she might have is Rian. Um, but Zan, he they got this back and forth relation. I not back and, well, yeah, back and forth, but not how I'm saying it. Like, I don't, I don't know what's up with her and Zan at first, but Zan, he, yeah. So I don't know. I'm listening to see what Zan got going on. I know what Zan got going on. I'm just attempting not to spoil the book. Liam all right. When I first read the book, he seemed a little smaller. When I was reading it, but with the graphic audio, he a little bigger. He a little bigger. I'm like, okay, so, Liam. I didn't know you was that thick. I mean, tall. I don't know. I mean, he got a deeper voice in the. I'm playing around. But yeah, the graphic audio is cool. With the book, it's only maybe two readers in the book, but in the graphic audio, everybody seems to have their own voice. Um, who was that? I don't know the teachers. I hadn't gotten a picture of the cast of the teachers. I think his name is Mr. Carr. That's how it's sounding. He the one sound like like he could be Panther to me. But yeah, Liam sounding buff. What? And they all buff I think Liam is a first year. I think Zan is the only one that's like in a group that's I don't know. He more than a first year. He's the I don't know what they call him. Head cadet. He's the wing leader. So he's been there for a while. He's been there for a while, so all of them are pretty buff after training. Yeah, Rand, like right off rip, like Rand would be a cool character to be in the fourth wing. As far as I can tell at the moment, I think her and Soren Gill met while they was coming up the mountain. If that's the same character. I can put the name with them now. I I think it is. I'll check and see when I'm able to get the part one. It um yeah. And see, I don't know how many people are ahead of me waiting on that book. But yeah, I'm not even halfway finished with part two. Uh, um, I'm like maybe maybe a little more than 15% in on part no, chapter 3 of part 2. Chapter 3 of part 2. I have this book on hold. I have borrowed, and I have some more books borrowed. I don't know, like they might get returned before I finish them. I might have to borrow them again to continue reading them. One time that happened with reels, because I got reels. I borrowed reels like the end of January, like maybe the second to last week of January, and I was reading it, and then it was returned, and I borrowed it again, and the cool thing was that it started up where I left it. Like, I guess my bookmark, because I could talk about bookmarks, talk about putting bookmarks in books. Like, it started up where I left it, because that kind of was a little bit of a concern to me. I was like, is it gonna start from the beginning? Am I gonna have to fast forward to where I stopped at, where I was last at? But yeah, it started up right where I left off at, and I I I think I can liken that to adding bookmarks, because I've noticed, if I stop a book without putting a bookmark, and come back to it, it's rewound some. Like, it's not exactly where I left it. It's backed some, and I've noticed that when I don't leave a bookmark. So if I don't mind, in some books I don't mind, but yeah, I did notice it, so I started putting a bookmark and making sure the bookmark was there, because I was like tapping the bookmark button, but I wasn't getting any indication that a bookmark was placed. So I would tap it again, and even tap it again, till I would get a check like a grayed out box with a white check in the middle, and then I knew that I had a bookmark. I would even tap it again to see what would happen. Like if I tapped it again, would it go away? And then would I have to tap it again to make it stay? So yeah, if you want to keep your place, make sure you put your bookmarks. I'm reading a lot less because I have I'm not using my headphones. I had some earbuds and I have dropped one of my earbuds and it hasn't turned up yet. And I only have one of my earbuds and I was using it. I just stopped using my earbud, the one earbud, and because usually I'd be through a couple of these things if I would use my earbuds. But yeah, I was waiting on my other earbud to show up, but it hadn't showed up. And when I wear my earbuds to sleep, that's how I lose them. That's how they get misplaced. Like, sometime in my sleep, I'll take them out of my ear, either intentionally or unintentionally. Mostly unintentionally, that's when they get lost. And sometimes intentionally, when I take them out and try and put them away to the side, I misplace them. So I'm down to one earbud at the moment. I do have a backup set that I'm hesitant on using. I have to get those charged up, but those hurt my ears. I, they hurt my ears. I tried to put some of them what do you call those things? Those ear things on, but they don't seem to fit them quite right. They seem too big. So I do have these backups. I've kept them for backups. I've even taken off the ear things because they actually took themselves off. They're actually, because it was actually like falling off. Let's see. See if I charge them. Let me see. Let's see. Charge them up and use them as my main earbuds so that I can read. Okay. Let them charge up. Because of the way they see if I can use maybe one, the other earbud that I have, and then maybe one of those. Yeah, something like that. Books I've added to my wish list and TBR today is because I just added them tonight. That's how come I can remember. And probably because of the subject matter, but of the topic that was around the book with promotion. One of the books is called Immortal Dark by Tigis Gurma. Yay! I got all that right. All this is off the top of the dome. You feel me? No script just yet. This is a phone call like, hey, ring, ring, hello. Captain Swallow, here's my day. The other one is let them burn by, I don't know. All I could recall is the title. And then there's a second book that I couldn't get at the moment. I had to be notified when it was available. So I didn't even go there because I'm not even ready to read. I already have books on notification to be notified. So I was able to get Let Them Burn. Hold on. Okay, so you Let Them Burn. I was able to get that. And I was able to get Immortal. I guess it's Immortal 1. I'm not sure. And then there's a second book, Immortal 2. No, I'm saying it wrong. Immortal Darkness. And then I think the second book is Immortal Dark. I'm still saying it wrong. Immortal Dark, I think, is the first book. Immortal Dark 2, I think, is the second book. I wasn't able to get Immortal Dark 2. I was able to get Immortal Dark. And so Let Them Burn. Also, I put on my favorite list to be, because yeah, for later. So like my TBR, my favorites. I have a favorite list on Hoopla that I'm utilizing like a TBR. Um, the Addict Child, and if it was another one, maybe I'll think of it. But yeah, I was able to get the Addict Child, but I didn't get it yet because I have to, where I looked for it, I had to borrow it. So what I did was I added it to my favorite so I can go back to it. Hmm. I'm trying to think. If I add the Hoopla app to my phone and have my phone charged up, I would be able to see the book titles on my phone. From my iPad here, I'm only utilizing one app. I'm not multitasking, so that's most of why I'm going off the top of the dome with things. I'll do my best to remember them and then mention them on live stream. I'm not utilizing any other devices or those items called pencil and paper. Some people use a pen to jot down things and to recall them. Yeah, I'm not using any of those things at the moment. So I'm doing pretty good though. I'm doing pretty good. I'm proud of myself. I remember one of the author's name because I had to look it up. I had to look up the book by the author's name to see what book I was adding. Because when I looked up the title, Immortal Dark, so many books popped up, like about 5 books popped up with the same title. So I was like, which one? I think it's this one. So I went and looked up the author's name, which is Tigist, Tigest, Girma, Grma. And I looked that up and looked at it a couple of times to make sure I was spelling it correctly, because autocorrect got in the way and changed it all the way up. I'm like, yes, I want to spell it this way, autocorrect. Thank you. And looked up the author to see if I can get part 2. Not at the moment, though. A lot of books. on my TBR. Not too many. I don't think I've reached 100 yet though. I started out with 69 books on my TBR this year. But I do add to my TBR, so my TBR does grow, and and I read books off the fly. Like, I'll just pick up a book and I'll start reading it. So sometimes my TBR really be just motivation. Like, it just be motivation. Like, I'm sitting here when you ready. It'd be like the nuts stored away, for that winter rainy day. It'd be like, we here. I'm like, I know. Thank you so much. I gathered you. Okay, be cool. We reading these books over here. So yeah, I didn't plan out my reading, other than I just had like a general idea of what I'm reading this year, and the formats. I'm reading a comic book. I'm making it my business to read a comic book this year. I have on my TBR to read a graphic novel. So those are the two things that I'm making it my business to read this year. I did read a comic book last year, but I wasn't able to log it. So this year I am able to log the comic book that I'm reading in a couple of places, not in all the places, but in a couple of them. So I was like, okay, that's cool. That's a win. And then the graphic novel, I haven't started the graphic novel, but like I said, it's on my TBR to be read. So yeah, those are the two formats that I'm making in my business to incorporate. Because I was hearing a lot about graphic novels and comic books, and I was like, I like graphic. I don't know about graphic novels. I can't say I like graphic novels, but I would like to read it. Let me see what that's about. And then comic books. I like comic books, so let's get it on the read list. Like, what? We can put comic books on the read list. Let's go. So I am reading a couple of comic books. And yeah, let's see, what's this title? This live stream title is Character Names. So with the book I'm reading now, when I looked up the cast from, I guess it's from, I don't even know if it's from the audio, the graphic audio. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I looked up. Did I look up? No, I didn't look up graphic audio cast, but I looked up Fourth Wing cast. And when I looked that up, some stuff about the graphic audio cast came up. And it's supposed to be a TV show series. I don't know when it's gonna be released though. I didn't see a release date for the TV series, so yeah, I don't know if this is the TV show cast or the graphic audio cast. I mean, I know. So, I'll keep listening to the cast. So with the names, like I was saying, I was able to see the names, and then the names of the cast. They had the pictures, so I was able to bring it the picture of it all to more clarity for me as I'm listening to the graphic audio, to know what character is who and who's doing what and things like that, because some of it was a bit above my head when I was first reading it. But now with the graphic audio and then me looking up the names and the cast, I'm able to put a face with the names and know who's who, what. Cause I really didn't know. I thought Dan was a dragon. I think Dan is a dragon, but Dan is a person. Dan is a dude that is calling Sorengale his best friend since they were 5. When I was reading it the first time, I thought Dan was a dragon. So I'm gonna continue to listen to the graphic audio to hear what, because oh my goodness, like I thought somebody's dragon was named Dan, but oh my goodness, if that was Dan, ooh, oh my goodness. It's like I can feel it more knowing the name and what's going on in the book. Like really, it's really helping me to grasp what's going on. Like it's not going over my head like, oh my goodness. Like that part in it, like even not exactly getting everybody's names the first time, even it's still gripping. Like it'll still, you'll still, I was feeling it. Like I was feeling it. I was like, oh no, like I knew she was going through something and it meant something to her as I was reading it the first time. And but now knowing the names and putting it with the characters, I'm like, oh my, it's all over again. It's just all over again. Cause I was there, but I was feeling it for her. Like I knew she was going through something, but now it's like it hit a little bit more different. It hit a little more closer. Even though he if that was Dan, oh my goodness. Because even when I read it the first time, it was a, oh my goodness. But sneaky Dan. If that was Dan, and that's wow. So this second read is gonna be even more so, because I was like, I was questioning. I was like, who is Dan? Is Dan the dragon? What? I thought Dan was a dragon. So now I gotta see if somebody's dragon named Dan, or if this been Dan, her friend, since they were 5 years old this whole time. Like, is it Dan, her friend, that they've been friends since they were 5, and there's a dragon named Dan? Or is it just Dan? So with this second read through, I'll be clarifying some questions I had from the first read. So yeah, I honestly didn't. I was like, who is Dan? Like, I thought Dan was a dragon. So yeah, I know who Dan is now. Like, I know at least one character named Dan at the moment. I done clarified that today when I looked up the cast. Clarified who's Dan, and clarified who's Liam, and clarified. Well, I hadn't clarified just yet. I'm getting there on Rihanna. Rianne. I think her name is Rianna, or it's either Rihanna or Rianne, something like that. It's kind of like Rihanna, but it's not Rihanna. It's Rianne, something like that. And what's the other girl name? Emma Jean. And the only reason like these names are coming to me now is because I looked up the cast and crew. So I don't know, like if you have, I hear some people have books with a lot of characters in it. Some people have issues with that, keeping up with the characters, such as myself, maybe if we could look up the characters like I have, maybe that'll help you anchor a face to the name. That way you bring it from the clouds and ground it to put a face with the name, with the characters. That's really helping for me. Maybe I'll try that with another book. I think the only reason I've tried this is because with the graphic audio it did say full cast, so that context nudged me to look up. I looked it up like this. I looked it up. I said fourth wing cast. So and actually I heard a character sound like it could have been Panther, the actor that plays Panther. I wanted to see if that was him. But yeah, what I looked up was some names with some photo ideal characters, and I've been able to remember their names like that. Zan. I thought his name started with a Z because I'm listening to the audio. But it's like X. It's X and like at Xavier, but it's Zan, but with an X. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Um, and then you got I'm trying to say all the characters, but um 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 I'm not even halfway finished with the second read through. But what's his name? Something Lock or something Rock. Aya, I don't know. Drake, 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 Drelock, Drake. I don't know. I'm pushing it now. Oh, when I saw his name and his character face, I was able to understand more when Sorengale was talking about a couple of first years and what happened to them when they went out in the cold, and how that character had suffered frostbite, but other than that, he was okay. I was like, oh, okay, so that's that character that they talking about. Oh, okay, like that. Other than it just being a name in the wind. So maybe I'll try that with another book. One book I think had a lot of characters in it, and it was kind of like, okay, who, but it was all right. We kept reading it, and it wasn't too many characters, and like, but it was a lot of characters, and then sometimes I'd be like, who were they talking about? That one or that one? Is Children of Blood and Bones. And maybe while reading that, looking up the cast, which had just been announced, while I was reading the book, maybe looking up that cast and crew would have been helpful as well. But I was able to follow along with that cast and crew with those characters. I was for the most part. Whatever I wasn't able to follow was clarified while I was continuing to read the book. Yeah, that's how that was going. Because if I did question, like, was that this, or was that her, or was that him, or was that, it was clarified when I kept reading. When I kept reading it. Yeah. Legendborn is on my list to read. Also, the next book in that series, I think it's already on my list. If it's a series, I'm gonna read it. Like, I'm looking forward to reading all the books in the series. Um, if I can get it, like, it was one the I don't know. Sometimes if I can just get the first book, I kind of feel some kind of way if I can't get all the books. Just a teeny little bit. Just a teeny little bit. Like, I'm like, do I even start? But the first book is better than hopping in, kind of, sort of. I mean, but I have read series out of turns. I have done that. I have done that. Read the second book first, and the first book last, and the third book second. I have done that. Uh, and it was all right. All was well. So yeah, no excuse. Read, read, read. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy what you read. Be motivated. Pick up a book. Pick up a book. Pick up a book that you feel like you want to read and read it. That's what's been going on for me. That's what's been fun. It's like I read more. You open up a space time continuum when you read like that. For me, be like be space traveling up in here. I um I read Hunger Games so fast. Um, I was like, whoa, because I had hesitated reading it. I hesitated, like, and then when I read it so fast. I was like, whoa, I could have been done with it the other day. I read this book so fast. It was because I picked it up and enjoyed it. It's like, you could be done with a book so fast. You just never know. You could be done reading a book, but less than the time you would be putting off a book. You can put off a book longer than you would have than the time it took you to read it. Like, for real. Like, woo, that book was quick and fun. Bookstore shop is on the screen, courtesy of the QR code available to you. Your purchase helps local books with your online purchase. Um, and all of that information is available in the bookstore. Right, 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 right on top of the screen there. It shows you the funds and where it goes and how local bookstores um, matter. all the books that I read last year are available in the bookstore. You can look up a book that you are interested in the search available in the bookstore. The bookstore also has novelties and all kinds of things that you can look up, different categories, and that you can peruse and see what you would like to purchase and enjoy. And thank you for your book purchases. All the books I've read on my bookshelf, available in the bookshop. All the books I read when I joined book clubs, available in the bookshop last year. Have any questions, or you would like for me to send you a specific book link, let me know. Also, I do have a playlist dedicating songs to my TBR list. TBR stands for To Be Read, TO space BE space READ. It's available on Spotify. You can listen to it on Spotify for free. And if you would like to dedicate a song to your TBR, you can let me know the song title and artist, and I could add it to the playlist. If you would like to, you could be a creator of the playlist. I could send you a creator's link for you to add songs to the playlist, and you can become a creator on this playlist that I have, dedicated songs to the playlist. You can listen to it, let me know what you think, and enjoy. I thought all the songs that I've added to the playlist are like specifically towards this playlist. I thought they matched very well with the theme I was going for, and that was enjoying our TBR, sending love to our TBR, and feeling the love. Thank you for your thumbs up, your presence. I appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. Thumbs up. Do subscribe. And I do have all the medias. The book clubs are in the description box. Also, links to books I've read are available in the description box. Let me know if you want an update on what I've read. I have shared them on the medias. So yeah, communication is welcome. Thank you so much. You can let me know what you're reading and all of that jazz. TTFN.